Hello, this is your keeper here to fill you in on last week's episode. Our intrepid hunters began setting their plans into motion to learn more about the Faceless Man. Twitch and Elliot swapped the Firebird out for Elliot's old truck in search of anonymity. Meanwhile, Kat, Sarah, and Sean planned the study session with Rachel, an archaeology student who went missing and came back. A clear sign of the Faceless Man's intervention. The crew decided to stop by the archaeology building in order to do some research, when they came face to no face with the monster. They were able to save his victim Molly and run him off, but it seems he's far from defeated. Well, you know how I said that we were going to be back for us in like a couple of minutes. It's been a week for us as well.
Yep.
We decided just a week, but we decided to stop after that last one just to like figure out everything going on. You will note, if you can see the names in the bottom of the screen, Daniel's name is missing. That is simply because he is not super passionate about this system. It's perfectly fine. We're planning on doing multiple systems, so chances are you will see him again soon in another story. But for the purposes of this, then, we're going to go ahead and say that Sean caught the whimsy of some other mystical magical thing and had to leave. Shortly after, like the events of falling asleep before like everything else happened during today, he had to go because like the magic told him. Like he's as beholden to his magic as his magic is beholden to him. His magic told him he was needed elsewhere. And so, without nary a decision, he was gone. Let's catch up with what happened last episode. I know I'm probably gonna do like a fancy like what happened last episode as like a pre-roll for this, but just a quick one. You guys sort of formulated your plans for what you expected to do in the near future, mainly including interviewing Rachel, the person.
The archaeology student, the other one that went missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other archaeology student that went missing. That was a big thing that you guys were working on. And the other big thing was accidentally running into the Faceless Man on your way to investigate the tablets and stuff, trying to do a little extra research, or as one might say, investigate a mystery.
He got his ass kicked too.
Yeah,
Elliot
he did, but
Elliot and Kat held him off real well.
He disappeared into the night, which is an unfortunate thing for you guys because he's definitely not dead.
Well, yeah, but still, we got him out of the alleyway. You know, we don't.
You did get him out of the alleyway, and you saved.
He still got his shit rocked.
And you did save Molly, I believe was her name.
Molly.
Yeah.
Molly. Yeah, and you guys were taking her to the student health center. That is where we ended last time.
I now have +1 armor, though.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you guys are taking because you finally leveled up after last session.
Finally. So how does armor work? Do I just subtract it from like
whenever you take harm?
harm?
Whenever you take harm, you take whatever your armor total is less harm than you were originally going to take.
Right. So anything that does less than 1 harm basically just doesn't affect you.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you at all. And if you were to take
unless it's armor piercing.
Unless it's armor piercing. And then like if something deals like 2 harm, you only take 1 harm.
Perfect.
It's just a direct subtraction of the amount of damage that you were going to take.
So we took Molly to the student health center.
Yes.
Twitch would not have gone in. He is not a student.
No, it was just the girls that went.
Yeah, the girls went.
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea of like trying to play up that they were concerned because she was not looking good, and being with Sarah being a friend and Kat being Sarah's friend, they have a good alibi or a reason to bring her in.
Right. So after that, are we still heading to get the bone tools and stuff like that? That's what we were doing before we were interrupted by the Faceless Man, trying to, get that girl.
Yeah, you guys were trying to investigate what was going on inside the.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. If we're still trying to do that.
Are you guys still trying to do that, Sarah? Are you still trying to investigate the things that are at the archaeology building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, after being attacked, we're not sure if the plans changed.
Yeah, I was just making sure that didn't change. You're the only person who can get us in there.
Yeah. I'm in it. In it to win it, boy.
In it to flint it. So then, why don't we pick up right where we were? You guys have successfully gotten Molly to the health hut, to the student health center, whatever you want to call it. Which did we ever put? Yeah, we did put it on the map. The student health center was right down here.
Yeah.
Down, just south of the Barnes building.
Way out of the way.
Way out of the way,
because you guys were like way up in an alley just behind Rowan Johnson.
We were like right up here.
Yeah, you were like in an alley behind Rowan Johnson, which is like almost 5 or 6 blocks away from the student health center.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a town this small, in a town this small, that's a far distance.
Well, it's like 35 feet.
For those who might be listening to the audio only version of this, Roll20 has a ruler skill, and you can absolutely draw out. You can absolutely like measure out distances. That is definitely not 35 feet, though. That is a much further distance.
Yeah.
At least 350.
Totally, yes. We're gonna go with 350 because that's it's probably honestly from like the distance that it is. How big is a block? I don't even know that amount.
It's got to be at least 300.
Yeah, so if it's like a 1 block is 350, like that's probably like a mile away.
One city block is typically 100,000 square feet.
Yeah, but we don't need the square. So what would it be? What is 100,000 squared, or square root of 100,000?
What's the link?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
Come on, I thought you guys. Yeah.
The standard block in Manhattan is 264 feet by 900 feet.
I just realized your microphone was not on, Megan.
Yeah.
And in some U.S. cities, standard blocks are as wide as 660 feet. But it's something feet by 900 feet.
All right. Well, we're gonna go with the something being about 600. So if
the
it's 600
approximate
block,
distance doesn't matter. We just
it was a hike.
Distance.
It was a hike, and now you guys have to make your way back up to the McMurphy building, which was admittedly a short distance from Rowan Johnson, but you had to head all the way down to the student health center.
Yeah.
Luckily on your walk,
but
luckily on your walk, nothing major happened.
Did we? I think we decided to leave my truck at Shelly's apartment.
Yeah, I think you guys were walking just because it was a little too obvious.
It'll be in the parking garage. You can't park it at my apartment.
Yeah.
When we're walking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, like after, like when you guys come out of the student health center, Twitch is just like pacing back and forth, like up and down, like the length of the outside of the building, and he's just like muttering to himself. He's like, "That was the faceless man. That was the fucking faceless man. Oh my god, they're not trying to summon him. They've already summoned him. What are we gonna do? We're fucked. We're totally fucked. This entire town is totally fucked."
Hey, buddy, I want to calm you down some. If you didn't notice, we rocked shit.
I'm gonna calm you down. I'm gonna calm you down some. He just pulls out like a needle. This has ketamine in it.
Oh my god! Look, you guys did good this fight, but it was by himself. What if next time he's got more like sand ally monsters, and maybe he was in full strength this time? What if next time he's got some freaky powers? He didn't. You guys didn't even kill him. He flew off into the night, probably to regain his strength and try again some other time.
Keeper, because of my background, would I know that, like, not everything, like, I know werewolves, you kill a werewolf with silver, and I don't have that, like, my mom did that for me on purpose, so would I, like, know, or, like, put 2 and 2 together and kind of think, hey, I didn't rip his throat out, he didn't have a throat to rip out, something else has to kill him.
I would say that, no roll needed. Like, it seems pretty clear that in order to kill this guy, you gotta hit a weakness first.
Okay. Are we all back together, or it was Twitch talking while we were taking her inside?
I think this was after we all came out.
Yeah, like after you guys are like walking back and forth, like back towards us.
Okay. Then Cat would kind of pipe up. The stereotype, the werewolf thing that, in fantasy they're immune or they're weakened by silver, that's how you kill them. Yeah, that is how you kill a werewolf. So if werewolves require something specific to kill them, maybe all monsters require something specific, and we have to figure it out.
Well, shit, if that's the case, I can imagine the only place where we would find that answer would be at Sarah's research notes. I'm sure there's something in there. Dear God, I really hope there's something in there.
Yeah, I sure do too.
It's not exactly common for libraries to have books like that with this kind of information. I doubt we'll find anything in the public library in this fucking.
Actually, if you go to this area, there's just an entire section on nothing but monster killing.
Oh yeah. There's
Totally.
There is a specializing bookstore in monster killing.
I mean, it's part of life sciences, the death sciences of killing monsters.
Gotcha.
Totally. So
I guess we need to get to the McMurphy building.
All right, headed to the McMurphy building.
All right, let's do it, boys.
All right. So yeah, you guys are making your way to the McMurphy building. There are still some police on campus because within the last 24 hours, a gun has gone off downtown, like in downtown on campus. So,
right.
Are you guys trying to like keep it like on the down low? Like, what's the plan here?
Well, I definitely think we should avoid the police.
I should say, avoid the police and try to like be low key, but don't be suspicious, because then they'll just.
Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Don't be suspicious.
I mean, here's the thing: if you're not looking around and doodling around, if you walk with a purpose, most people don't bother you, and if they do, I can show them that my student ID literally lets me in this building, and they're not going to bother us. We'll be fine.
We have to get past the cops. I think the cops are at the McMurphy building. I think we have to like get past them to get to the McMurphy building.
Yeah, if they stop us.
Because down here is like the area where all that shit went down, right?
Yeah, it was down there.
It was like right around the Barnes building.
Mm-hmm.
And the McMurphy building's up here, so the cops would be like right here. We could just like go up this way, I think.
Yeah, kind of like make a round down
Yeah.
down like First
hit,
Avenue.
We can go up, hit like Main Street, and then cut up.
Yeah, that's doable. And like Sarah said, if they happen to like intercept us, she can just be like, "Hey, we're going to do archaeology things and wait for badge, and that's our magic free pass."
It's completely natural. I can do that.
And if you can't,
can you
just don't speak?
Don't speak. Got it. I can totally do that.
Can you?
Let's go.
No real answer. Let's go.
Perfect.
All right, yeah, because you guys are planning on kind of like going around rather than taking a beeline through, I'd say you guys pretty much avoid the police.
Cool.
Fuck 12.
Fuck 12.
You do hear somebody kind of far away just go whoop whoop.
Like a person say? Oh.
Yeah, because it's the sound of the police.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry. I understand that I am white, and so you don't expect that from me.
That's a good song, though.
It is a very good song. Anyway, yeah, you guys are now at the McMurphy building, and all of our viewers is the word I'm looking for. Get to see what you guys do whenever descriptions are being done, which is just draw on the map with
just doodle.
Just doodle with arrows. That's all it is. It's every single time. I try to keep this as like audio friendly as possible, but there is some video shenanigans that are going on.
Just always
some video shenanigans going on. Anyway, Yeah. So you guys are at the McMurphy building. What is the plan?
I'm gonna pull out my ID and I'm gonna scan it to unlock the door.
All right. Yeah. So for a normal student, this is like after hours, and you really wouldn't be able to scan into a building. But you're a grad student, and this is like your main building. This is where all of your research is done. So you have access to this building during the night. And you swipe your card and are in, no problem.
I'll hold the door open for everybody.
I gotta say, it makes it a lot easier to get into places like this when you've got a key card. And Twitch walks in.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes.
Alright, she'll lead him up to the lab where all her stuff is.
On your way in, you get in, and you have access to your notes. So does anybody want to do anything? Anybody, I guess, at this point in time, if you want to like look over the notes and try to find something out, it would be an investigate a mystery roll.
Alright.
Yeah, I would like to investigate.
Pat would try to help.
I'll just watch the hallway door or whatever.
All right, so somebody's rolling to investigate a mystery, which is plus sharp, and Kat said she was trying to help, which is plus cool.
Okay, so my plus cool to help. No forward.
So I guess I'll roll sharp first. So
Yeah, you help out on a 10
So
plus.
it gives. So it's +1 forward, right?
Yeah, you have a +1 forward for this investigate a mystery.
Okay.
That's an 11. Yeah, so you get to ask me 2 questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
I think the first one is obvious. What can hurt it?
What can hurt it?
Yeah.
All right. So, looking through the notes, you do still have the enchanted like glass lens that that Sean left behind, and so you're able to read through both the notes and some of the parchments. And it mentions that the faceless man was used normally to. Well, that's extra. I'll give it to you. It was not a person per se, but it was the ancient equivalent of like a chemical warfare tool.
Awesome.
Basically, it would be sent into an area, and that was what they would use to fight. But every every warfare tactic has to have a contingency plan, and so you note that. How they would deal with subduing a faceless man once its job was done, was that they actually had a large like ice box essentially, and they would wrangle it into an ice box where it would go completely dormant.
So we have to freeze it out.
We are in the south.
Anyone know where to purchase a refrigerated truck or an ice cream van?
No.
What is your other question, Twitch?
My other question, that is a fantastic question.
What were the options again?
We just figured out what can hurt it. There's what can it do? What sort of creature is it? What happened here? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here? You guys probably could have investigated a mystery at the scene of the crime as well.
Oh,
I'm gonna say. So we got what can hurt it. So now I'm gonna say what is being concealed here in these notes.
What is being concealed here in these notes?
Yeah.
So the notes themselves, you would note there's nothing really being concealed. The notes are pretty straightforward. But what you would note is that there seems to definitely be like tears in some of the papers that look maybe like they're weathered, or maybe like somebody tampered with the the scrolls and stuff.
Right. Okay. So, Gabe would point out the tampering first. Has anybody else touched these research notes?
Any of the like 4 or 5 people that come into this lab could have. Fuck.
Including
How many of the other 4 or 5 people are dead now? Like, how many were people that have gone missing?
The 3 people that you know of for a fact that have gone missing were Lance and Chad,
Right,
and Rachel.
right. But how many of those people have had access to these notes? I was asking Sarah.
I know Chad and Lance have, but as an archaeology undergrad, Rachel might have as well.
Well, that is definitely a problem. Wow. Any of them.
Somebody's been tampering with these notes. I don't know if they did it to summon the Faceless Man or if they did it to remove information. Can I take a picture of these notes? It just might help out really a lot later to be able to come back and reference this without having to be here.
I mean, yeah, sure, go for it.
Cool. Just give me 1 second. Twitch reaches into his backpack and he pulls out a Polaroid camera.
Of course he has a Polaroid.
He shakes it. He takes like 3 or 4 pictures, making sure he includes every little bit of information. Make sure all the photos develop well. He puts them away. He says, before I forget, they said something in here about they used to freeze out the Faceless Men. So they used them as agents of warfare, and whenever their jobs were done, they would make them go dormant by freezing them out. So I had this thought. You guys know, obviously ice skating is not very popular around here. The ice skating rink at the edge of town that shut down 2 years ago. Maybe there's still ice there. Maybe we can use that.
What is the name of the icing rink?
It's probably something super obscure, like something like slip and skate.
Slip and skate.
I think the idea is to not slip when you're ice skating.
Well, you said they closed. Maybe the naming wasn't great.
Yeah, maybe that.
I was thinking something like Southern Snows.
Southern Snows. I like that one better.
Southern Snows. Yeah, Southern Snows.
All right, and where is Southern Snows?
It's the edge of town. So, the edge of town. So it's gonna be like on this derelict stretch, like way the fuck out of here.
Like in this area.
Yeah,
that's like a straight road. I would honestly say it made more sense like in this little like alcove down here, like on a side street down.
Yeah, like it's in this corner. That's not the right one.
Yeah,
they actually froze this lake right here and built like a fence around it.
Well, no, for winter weather when it would be cold enough, they would freeze that lake, but they had an indoor unit as well.
Yeah.
Now, the only problems I'm seeing with this plan here is one. We don't know if there's any fucking ice in that place because it's been like 2 years. Maybe the mechanisms to make the ice still work. I don't fucking know. I've never taken time to trespass in that building.
Maybe.
You're just so cavalier about your misdemeanors.
How is it far enough? Is it far enough away from the city that we can get loud if we need to?
I think so. Yeah, it's like I said, it was out in a pretty derelict area.
I have 2 things. First one is about this one. Second one is just going back to what we were talking about. First one is there are no other places, within 100 miles of this town that has another like ice skating rink. What if we just brought a gallon of gas with us to see if the Zambonis still work?
That's
the Zambonis. They smooth out the ice. They don't make the ice.
But they help refreeze it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the chemical that's in them.
Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
That could work. That could definitely speed things up. Now, but my other problem I'm having with this plan here is how the hell are we going to get this Faceless Man out there?
Well, we don't know what he's doing here, like why he's here. If we knew that, we could try to use bait, maybe, if we knew somebody else that was a target. Or like, I don't know how that worked, though.
I was able to push him over. Maybe we could just like throw a garbage bag over him and tie him up.
He can't fly away if there's nowhere to escape. But hang on, Twitch.
All the answers to our problems can't be stick the bad guy in the bag.
That is a dive that no viewer is going to understand.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What cat?
So, did you say that it deactivates him, or does it kill him? Because there's a difference.
All of these notes say is that they use it to make it go dormant. Doesn't say anything about killing it, but maybe it can be killed while it's dormant.
That's my second thing. Give me the notes. I know my own handwriting.
I mean, like I touched them. I just laid them out on the desk in front of me, so I could take pictures of them. But they're all laid out.
I would like to see if I could recognize any of the changed up handwriting on my notes.
Okay, yeah. Let's see here. I guess, let's see here. What would that be? Because that's not really... I would say that's not really an investigative mystery. Because that's, I would say, I guess there's really no role that needs to be made for this. You just, yeah, you would be able to, like, look through your own notes. Like, you don't have to, like, study that hard to see that somebody else wrote.
But do I recognize the other people's handwriting? Do
you recognize the other person's handwriting? You are not super familiar with everybody's handwriting. Like, you would have to maybe... I would have to make you maybe just roll, like, plus sharp, like, not to do anything specific, but just roll plus sharp, and I'd let you, like, decide. Yeah, with an 11, that's a success. Yeah, I would go ahead and let you know. You recognize Rachel's handwriting.
Fuck.
Do you have any other, like... This isn't the only version of your notes. Do you have any copies that they might not have had access to? Like something typed out or just an extra copy you kept with yourself so you didn't have to stay here to study it?
Yeah, I have some stuff on my laptop, but I do have a majority of my stuff in here.
Does what seem different? Does it, like, can you pick it out and maybe see if you have it in your laptop? See if we can... Like, if they, like, what if ice isn't what kills him and it makes him more powerful and they switched that around?
Right. I would like to just pull out my laptop, pull up that Word document, and just start comparing.
Here's my thing. Shelton remembers this, but Twitch was not there for it. Mallory, do you remember when you were in class and that guy before he left was complaining about how cold it was?
Yeah.
It was like 73 degrees inside.
Yeah. I think that might be a hint at the whole ice being a weakness thing. So I don't think if any of the information is wrong, I don't think that is wrong.
Well, if it was 73 degrees and he was cold, then the heat... Well, wait.
Then that means 73 degrees wasn't hot enough.
Yeah. No, I'm dumbass. Sorry. We're good. We're on the We're on the same track now.
There we go.
Had to process.
Yeah, so when comparing the notes, the only thing that you would really notice is that they kind of have placed dead ends into the notes to kind of make the train of thought end, where your notes, there was nothing that's like particularly missing from your notes, but trains of thoughts, specifically what was the Faceless Man known for doing, like those kinds of things have been more or less led to, well, the notes, the tablet says that it does not have enough information for us to draw a conclusion, but that is written in from somebody else's handwriting, whereas you had not really had a chance to go through and fully explore that side of things.
Well,
so none of your personal notes were changed, but they added in purposeful dead ends so that anybody who tried to read these notes would assume that there was no information to gain in certain fields.
Okay, so we're not going to change anything in the written notes? Because if the person wants to come back, we don't want them to know that we know. Does anyone object to that?
Oh, I wasn't going to write. I was just changing your thing in these notes. I mean, I was going to change things in these notes, in my own time, but that was after I added it to my own journal, and I could extrapolate on my own ideas.
Right.
Well, now you have a few answers to some of those questions.
I think we need to go check out that ice rink.
We'll note the whole time Kat has been kind of not super close, but she's been sticking closer to Sarah.
Cat, I don't need your protection here. There's no one else in the building.
As you say
She
that,
just kind of she balks.
as you say that, you do hear footsteps coming down the hall.
Motherfucker.
Elliot
Immediately her
has
head
been standing
turns.
by the
Which
door.
part?
Elliot's been standing by the door. Can he kind of try to peek out without being seen and see who it is?
Roll to act under pressure.
Oh lord.
That's plus cool.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
If there's a desk,
Mr. Never
Twitch gets
Miss.
under the desk.
Cat just kind of
That's
like
a 9. Is going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. So you would be able to stick your head out if you. Yeah. So I'm going to give you a worse outcome, which is that. Actually, I guess I would just say like a price to pay. You stick your head out, and sure enough, you do see a pretty large. Huh?
Please be a janitor. Please be a janitor.
It is a large rotund man with a walrus style mustache.
It's Vernon Dursley.
Do I recognize him?
If he were to give you a description, that is Professor Arkwright.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Which is under a desk if there's a desk. He just like here's
So
this
Ellie's
person
going
coming.
to turn
He's
around,
like,
kind of whispering, "There is a fat man with a mustache coming."
That's my professor. So he also belongs in this building. So nobody panic. We're all good. We're all good for now.
cool. Don't panic. Twitch gets out from under the desk.
And yeah, so if nobody's going to do anything, yeah, eventually Professor Arkwright is going to open the door and he goes, "Well, I thought I heard noise. Sarah, who are all of your friends?"
Well, she'll go ahead and introduce everybody, and she'll just explain that we're all here. We were just looking at some of the notes. They were interested in what I was doing my thesis on, and I kind of just wanted to show everybody while we were in the area.
Roll to manipulate someone. That is plus charm. Unless you have an ability otherwise that allows you to.
I mean, I always
roll
have
something
plus
else.
weird. I don't think I do.
I don't think you have anything that can make you.
Let me look. I already rolled.
ooh
But it's a fail anyway, so we might as well keep it because it's a fail.
exp.
Oh wait. Roll to manipulate someone without speaking.
Telepathy.
I have telepathy.
You've got telepathy, but that just lets you manipulate, read a bad situation, investigate a mystery without actually needing to talk.
Oh, okay.
But you still have to make those correct rolls.
Right.
I think the person in our party that has the ability to replace their charm with weird would be the monstrous.
Yeah, I can do that with a natural appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I use my sharp.
Yeah, and you use your sharp because of see it all fits together.
Yeah.
But with a 4, that is a
Definitely
failure.
a possible option for you when you level up, taking from my sheet.
Mhm. So with a 4, that is a failure. Go ahead and mark experience.
Yay, experience.
That's luck.
Oh,
Your experience are those 5 dots, yeah.
right. Gotcha.
And Professor Arkwright kind of looks between everybody, and he says, "Sarah, you do know that those notes are mostly property of the school. You can't just simply be showing them to people."
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't think about that.
Cat will kind of step up a little bit. I want to apologize then. Sorry, I'm just an undergrad over in bio. I kind of pestered her into it because I thought it was really cool, and I kind of went down the route of maybe like I could have some input, or one of us could have some kind of different input and like help y'all somehow. But I mean, we don't necessarily know anything different, but we are trying to help put pieces together.
Well, all things considered, that is a noble goal. Unfortunately, this still goes against school policy. I will have to speak with the dean in the morning, and you two will be going on academic probation. This is a serious form of misconduct. I am giving you the easier choice here. Simply stay on the true and narrow for this going forward, Miss Anderson, and this will simply disappear. But if I see these individuals around here again, you may lose your grant.
This is this is mostly my fault. I'm just I'm a bit of a theologist. I was wondering if the ancient Egyptians had any thoughts on the human soul. Perhaps we could make this all go away, and he'll kind of pull out his wallet.
Roll to manipulate.
Cat's shoulders had dropped, and then immediately he stares at Elliot.
Everyone just stares at Elliot.
So
And
while
he
they're
dropped
dealing,
the soul word to be sure.
while they're dealing with this guy, is there anything important that I could steal, like something that I could use to reference to, like important information?
No!
Oh man, no charm at
Use
all.
a luck. Use a luck. Oh God, we need to fix this because you're about to make it worse.
I'm going to drop a luck.
All right, so luck point instantly brings it up to a 12. In which case, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. If you ask too much, they will tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it. So when you pull out your wallet, he looks at the wallet, he looks to you, and he goes, I could see about letting this pass if the kind gentleman were willing to give a generous donation to the archaeology department, say $5,000.
Yeah, of course. And we'll pull out a check.
All right.
Check. Let's go.
I need a drink
he
now.
doesn't carry 5,000.
After that stressful moment.
He doesn't carry
He's got that.
5,000 cash on him at all
Yeah,
times.
God, give me a drink.
Yeah, is there like a tablet or like a journal nearby? Like,
I love that you're just during this very high stakes, careful moment.
this guy's trying to get paid. I'm trying to maybe take something back from me that could be useful later.
So
Like,
you're-
Arguably, the professor is very focused on Elliot right now.
Yeah.
That man thinks he's getting $5,000.
I
do
do-
write the check.
I could remind you guys. Technically speaking, Elliot can coerce people via violence,
Yeah,
but you didn't. You chose to bribe this man, which that
It's
is
fitting of the situation.
It is fitting of the situation because you can't just intimidate everybody. That is only going to end in
The cops.
Yeah, that's going to end in something terrible down the road. But go ahead and
It'll only be worse for us.
go ahead and roll plus sharp to scope the area out.
Okay,
Cool.
he's gonna write the check, but tell him not to
That's
try to
an
deposit it
8.
until Tuesday.
Mixed success, yeah.
So that's a mixed success. So the only thing that you feel like you could get away with from your current position is a from your current position is a small was the hilt of what you assumed could have been a sacrificial knife.
All right, wait for nobody to look, and I'm going for it. Just fucking in my pocket.
I will say,
I want
when-
you to roll act under pressure to do that.
Let's go. This is what I was waiting for.
That's
Another
an 8.
mixed success.
Mixed success. Keeper's going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. I'm going to give you a hard choice.
Okay.
If you try to grab this hilt, the professor is definitely going to notice.
Okay, if he's gonna notice, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna. The mixture, success. He's chilling. He's just looking around the room, but there's a single bead of sweat that just drips down his face, and he's fighting the face twitch as he's staring at this hilt. But he ultimately doesn't go for it.
okay, I do have a special. When I spend luck, it means someone from my past will reappear in my life soon.
No.
Well, wouldn't it potentially be someone different since Dick has already appeared recently and we know he's already here?
But he might show up in your path. We're not sure what that means.
Yeah.
But I get to have some fun with it. Thank you for reminding me of that. I don't know your characters well, but that is a great thing to go ahead and let me know is info based on like how your luck works.
Hell yeah. Oh hell no, but like, yay, doing good things and like cooperating as a team.
Let's see here.
So how does this resolve?
This resolves with I mean, if you're writing him a check, you write him a check. He takes it, pockets it, and he walks out.
I would have told him before he left not to try to deposit it until Tuesday when I've had time to go by the bank and put the money in the account.
He looks at you with a disapproving glare, looks over to Sarah. You can imagine you can imagine the what's it called? The Telltale Games, like Professor Arkwright will remember that. Shows up and he goes, "I'm sure," and then leaves.
I can't believe that worked.
I can't believe I spent $5,000 in 1 second.
Cat
Now
is
I'm gonna
just,
take the knife hilt.
Cat is blinking like the white guy in that meme.
Oh yeah,
and just kind of like looking between people.
oh, what is his name? Drew Scanlon.
Do
Yeah.
I see Twitch take the knife?
Now I take the knife. Now that the professor's
Do
gone.
you see Twitch take the knife?
Yeah.
I would say that yeah, like you would see him based off of the cool roll. If he went for the knife, anybody would have been able to see him do so.
My dude, my guy, why? Why?
Oh, the knife? Oh, well, you see, it could be useful later. That guy doesn't want us coming back here, so I might need to reference it. You know,
Okay,
it seemed like it
well-
could be useful.
We were probably the only people that came in here tonight, and if that shows him missing, he's going to know it's gone. He's going to know one of us took it.
And he's gonna put us back on academic probation again.
He just got a $5,000 check. I don't think he'll notice it too much.
Here's
I'm pretty
the thing.
sure that knife is
Right.
worth more than $5,000.
Well, now, here's the thing, though. Right now, you always have the fact that he took a $5,000 bribe over his head. So really, how much is this little knife worth when your entire life is on the line?
So the only crime here was us, not her. If we need it in the future, she is still able to come here. We just can't all pile up with her. And she could come here like in the daytime too.
Huh?
Like during normal hours when it's not as suspicious.
But alright, I'll put the knife back.
If we could,
I think this is good for the night. I'm gonna go add these pictures to my corkboard.
I need to rest. That fight took a lot out of me.
Yeah. Do we just want to meet at Space Doze in the morning? And then we could get like on a conference call and I could bring a Bluetooth earpiece.
Yeah, some spy
Yeah.
type shit.
Okay.
What time? You say in the morning. What time? Because usually I wake up pretty early anyway. But I don't have work tomorrow, and I usually sleep in on the days I don't have work.
Twitch wakes up in the morning feeling like Mick Jagger.
Yes, exactly like
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
No, I'm meeting Rachel at 10, so I'm thinking maybe
Right.
Space Doze at 9:30.
9:30. I could. 9:30 was good. I will see you guys at Space Doze at 9:30. If I don't die, if I'm at Space Doze at 9:30, don't come looking for me. I need you guys to go to my apartment and burn everything. Right? Don't let Miles stop you. Don't let anybody stop you. And then Twitch is gone.
All right.
Interesting.
All right, so I assume that everybody's heading back to their respective homes.
Yep.
Storm time.
All right, so during the night, Elliot, you finally make it back to your apartment, your shitty apartment in the waters.
Yes.
You lay down on that shitty lumpy mattress, and much like every night that you have in the past, couple of years, You fall asleep in a basically just an almost catatonic state, because at this point, all sleep is to you is just what your body needs to be ready for the next day. It's never a fun thing for you. It's never like a pampering, like, oh, I'm just gonna lay down and relax. It's like you go to bed, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, and you're active again, because staying still, staying asleep, in a line of work like you is typically death.
He sleeps as little as possible. He usually goes to bed around midnight and wakes up at 5 a.m.
And so, in that short 5-hour period that you are asleep, you have the first dream that you have had in, like, we're going to say 7 years.
Jesus.
The dream is you, back at the crash site of your botched job where the ghouls came to attack. But everything, like, you're living through the horrible moment. The ghouls are here. Your car ran into one, and that's what caused you to swerve off the road. And then it just stood back up and continued walking towards you. You ran for a decent distance, which is typically very hard to do considering you broke your femur. But the adrenaline just sort of took over, and you were running. You were out in the middle of nowhere. Why don't you go ahead and, well, what happened? What did you do?
So the story behind him, he did actually get caught by the ghouls, and they did begin to eat him. And he'd never been a religious man, but in his quote-unquote final moments, he did begin to pray. And someone answered that wasn't quite who he expected.
So yeah, as that's happening, you go to pray, and right as you kind of like finish the prayer and you're trying to like anything, I don't know if this is going to be anything, but it's like my last ditch effort, like bargaining sort of chip. Time kind of like slows down and stops. And this is not how you remember it happening, but time slows down and stops. And a very handsome, though handsome might not be the correct word, is a very androgynous looking character, in a very, very like well-tailored black pinstripe suit, walks up to you and sits down on a rock nearby as he kind of surveys the scene. You are kind of outside of time, but can't move anything more than like your eyes and your head. And you can kind of see he's kind of looking down at the ghouls who are still viscerally destroying like your lower half. And he goes, "Yeah, that wasn't a fun night, was it?"
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, I realized something. We had a deal. 6 months from now, you're mine, but if you don't make it 6 months, and it seems like you're in a bit of trouble right now, I don't get you. And that's a really shitty thing to do to somebody when you've already made a deal with them. I don't like it when people try to back out of their deals with me, so
That's vaguely comforting.
So, I figure, well, maybe I gotta give you a freebie so that I can ensure that I get what is owed to me. So, don't say I never did nothing to you for free, alright? And you wake up in a cold sweat, and laying just right there, on your lap, is a small silver coin. It is blackened with soot, but otherwise it is an old silver coin.
Just as a side note, probably because of the dream and the it seeming so realistic or whatever, he probably would have rolled out of bed and immediately went for his gun before he realized where he was.
Then yeah, I would say like as you reached for your gun, the coin was laying on top of the gun then.
His neighbors at this point would just hear a string of cursing. But he'd put it on.
He puts the coin on, like just like carries it with him?
Like, yeah, he puts it in it, like, He probably would have found like some string and rigged up a whole pendant system.
Okay, yeah, because it is silver. Silver is still a relatively soft enough metal. I'm sure with a hammer and nail, which I bet you could probably find nearby. This is kind of a shittier part of town.
Right.
You could punch a hole through the silver and wear it as an amulet. So yeah.
Way out of that deal. Fuck.
And let's cut. The other person that we're going to see tonight is Sarah.
All right. What's going on with Sarah?
So Sarah, what are you doing like as you're getting ready to go to bed?
I guess I'll shower, brush my teeth, the works. Make sure I don't have any notifications on my phone. Make sure I'm all packed up for the morning,
All right. I need you. So, let's see here. There's a moment where, like, in the shower, you're kind of just, like, going through your day, trying to, like, figure out everything that's happened and, like, kind of processing everything. You know what you do in a shower, like, at the end of a day, where you're just trying to, like, kind of get everything that happened in order. And part of your brain kind of settles on a thought, and it won't let go of it, which is, if Elliot has enough money to just throw $5,000 to get you out of the hole, then that's a lot of power in today's society. You could definitely figure out how to exploit that resource.
Okay.
And yeah, that's just like a nagging thought at the back of your head is, well, with that kind of money, I could get out of a lot of situations. I could get a lot more things. I could rise up and out from this situation that I'm in. If I had that kind of money, this wouldn't be an issue anymore. And that's going to be where we leave you tonight.
All right.
Before we go to Space Doze in the morning, Elliot would deposit $5,000 into his bank account.
All right.
It's not much. He's eating through his savings quite fast, actually.
Yeah, but to everybody else, you being able to write that check, it looks like you got a lot of disposable income. But
looks like it.
Looks can be deceiving. Anyway,
Exactly.
that is a good stopping point for this episode. If we want to take a quick break, this will be where I can like stop the recording and then start a new one. That way it's easier to just sort of like break the episodes apart.
Yeah, I need to get a new drink. I think I'm going to switch over to the alcoholic drinks now.
Ooh, fancy. Anyway, thank you everybody who is watching, who's continuing to watch. This is a fun little experiment for us. This is something that we've been enjoying doing so far. I have been, at least. And yeah, we will be back next week. So, if you are enjoying this, don't forget to leave a like. I guess I'm going to see if I can't get these on like an iTunes or something. So like, rate us on whatever like podcast app you're on. Share. We're going to spread mostly by word of mouth. We don't really plan on doing any advertising. So if you're enjoying this and you want other people to see what we're doing, please for everything that is out there, share this stuff. And yeah, that's going to be where we head out. I've been John Henry. This has been my cast. Shelton, Blake, Mallory, and Megan.
Hi.
And remember, if you think the boogeyman is after you, you're only paranoid if that's not true. And bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Later.